Hello, welcome to Mechwarrior Online. Today I'm doing a review of the Cougar E. This is the Cougar that I've chosen to go with, and I really like this one specifically for some special features about it, which I'll get to in a moment. But check out this paint job. I don't think paint jobs get really enough credit because they look really cool in the battlefield, and it's great to see the expression. I'm a artist, and I've been doing artwork probably for about as long as I can remember. I mean, everybody starts out making little stuff when they're kids and stuff, but I actually had an art tutor because my family's like that. So anyway, so yeah, I really like the way this looks. It's a beautiful design in my opinion, and I really like the symmetry that this mech also prevails. You can do quite a bit with this mech as far as having really good features and also being able to punish the enemy on the battlefield. Some of the things I've done about this mech have made it just kind of stand out in its own little way. And it's just really cool to me. Anyway, let's take a look at this build, and let me show you what makes this thing so special. So we're going to skip the meat and potatoes and go right to the quirks. So we're getting an XP bonus, 2.5, because we're using all the original Omnipods, as you can see. And here's where we get into the features. Missile heat generation, minus 10%. Missile spread, minus 10%. Cooldown, minus 15%. Velocity, plus 5%. So right off the bat, we've got a lot of missile features here. Missile range, plus 10%. Missile velocity, plus 15%. Heat, minus 10%. These right here alone are just really impressive. Now when we get into some of the other features of this mech, the ammo. Now, I don't run NARC typically on my smaller mechs. Usually it's only on my heavy and assaults because of the number of weapons you can put on them. It's a sacrifice. But if you ran Clan LRM, you get plus 120 shots on here. SRMs, plus 70. Wow, that's a big number. Clan SRM with Artemis ammo capacity, plus 60. Now here's where it gets into the fun stuff. Clan ATM ammo capacity, plus 52. Clan SRM ammo capacity, plus 80. Oh, that was Streak over here. My bad. Streak SRM. And I never run Streaks. Clan LRM Artemis ammo capacity, plus 120. Now, survivability on clan mechs is usually not very good. Yeah, it's like plus 6 or plus 8. I've even seen plus 4 on a center torso. I mean, why even bother at that point? Base armor center torso, plus 15. Base armor right torso and left torso, plus 12. Right arm and left arm, plus 10. And then you're getting structure bonuses as well. Base structure, right torso and left torso, you're getting plus 7. Left arm and right arm, plus 16. Jeez. Heat dissipation, plus 5%. And overheat damage, minus 20%. This is a really, really skilled out, quirkable mech. Or quirked out, skillable mech. What are we doing as far as tonnage? We're almost maxed out. Slots, not quite full, but there's not much I can do about that. But as far as heat management, 1.42 is really good. Firepower. Firepower is 54, but we know that's these are ATMs, so it's probably closer to 60. No jump jets. Speed, 81. That's pretty good. Not incredible for a light mech, but it's pretty decent. It still keeps you in front of most heavies and all assaults except for one. And I think that's the Fafnir that does 90 kph with mask. So this is 2 ATM 9s. And I've only got 3 tons of ammo, but we already know that this is going to be a lot of ammo. I'm not going to be firing these all the time. I have a cooldown on these that's set at 5, but with the cooldown that I've added to it, it's actually closer to 4.1. So that's 4.13. So that's pretty good. As far as the range, we already know ATMs go really, really far out, and this is no exception. This one has a range of 1375. It's probably one of the best ranges I've seen outside of a Howl. It also has missile crit damage chance as well because of the skills I added to it. I'm also running for defensive weapons because this is pre-set up, preordained to be. It has 3 energy points. Now, some people run tag. You can do that. I just don't. I really think tag is just kind of a waste, honestly. It never goes out to the range of the weapon you're using it with is capable of, so it's really kind of redundant to me. But it is nice that it will break ECM. So that is a nice feature. But I also dumbfire my weapons anyways. I'm not waiting for a lock. I'm firing. So I went with 3 ER medium lasers. I fire this one, which is in the head, and then these 2 as backup weapons. Now, if you want to, you can move the ammo out to the arms if you want, and you can do 1 ER medium laser and then 2 heavy medium lasers. Or you could do a tag in the head and then 2 heavy medium lasers. That way you've got some significant improvements on self-defense. Realize, though, that the heavy mediums don't have the range that this one is capable of. This one has an optimum range of 400, and then with my skills on it, it brings it all the way out to 460 for optimum range, maximum damage. And that's what I like to think about. I don't like to think about the maximum range because the maximum range isn't doing anything. It's barely scratching the surface. It might be providing a dent, but that's about it. So halfway range, it's going to do some damage. But we're talking about a weapon that has a maximum damage of 6. So 3 damage is really not going to be even worth the effort. But I still will use it to get people to turn around and to head look and stuff. I also went with 2 double heat sinks on board, which improves the heat management. Without these, it actually does pretty well. 129. Let me show you something else you can do with this mech that's a lot of fun, and I've done this many, many times. In fact, I had a whole 1 month period where I was running light mechs for about 2 to 3 weeks. And even when I wasn't running the light mechs, I was still playing this one almost every day. And I was doing it with this build and only this build. 2 ER PPCs. These 2 ER PPCs, they do stick out quite a bit. It doesn't look that bad here, but when you turn to the side, it is massive. But these 2 ER PPCs, you can easily harvest just lots and lots of damage with these because you've got mad range, you've got really good cooling just the way it's sitting right now. Remember, I haven't even put on heat sinks or anything yet. I can put heat sinks on, I can still put SRM6s on here, but I ran it just this way with a bunch of double heat sinks. And doing that, maxing out on the double heat sinks, not using any of the missile features or the other energy point. Look at the heat management, 1.66. You're gonna fire. You can fire these simultaneously and get a nice jarring amount of damage in a single volley. And then all you have to do is wait 5 seconds, and then you can fire them again. Or it's actually less than that. It's 4.1 seconds. And then you get to fire them again. And by the time you get to fire them again, they've cooled down enough that you can actually fire another volley, a full volley. I think my maximum, we're getting up all the way up to full overheat, is you can do 3 volleys before you get into maximum overheat. Now, if you don't mind not doing this, there's another build that's also a lot of fun and has mad range. And I sometimes run this on my Nova Cat, but the Nova Cat gets really hot. So if you do this build here, and then whatever else, I think I ended up putting a clan active probe on here, but now you have the advanced sensor package. You can put this on here now, and you have a heat management of 2 with just 2 ER large lasers. But if you don't mind giving this up, you can still go with a 3rd ER large laser, which is what I do. And I think you got to strip off one of the components here. There we go. So now you have 3 ER large lasers, 6 double heat sinks, and you still have a heat management of 1.63. How I typically fired this was I would put all 3 of these in chain fire, and then I would fire them 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then occasionally I would do a full alpha strike. But you do have to realize you are going to have ghost heat because you do have 2 or more lasers firing simultaneously. So that is something to consider. But if you just go down to the 1, you're good. So anyway, there's a lot of different builds you can do on this mech, and because this is an omnipod mech, you can make this into almost anything you want. I prefer to run it the way I originally had it set up, like this, and it really just harvests damages. I've done some really solid matches in this build. Anyway, I hope this was informative, and I hope you consider this mech as a possibility. This is definitely one of my favorite light mechs of all time.